Today on DNVR Buffs Live, we are joined by the wonderful Romi Bean. We're going to be talking about Coach Prime's playbook, what she thinks about the team. We'll also talk about Coach Prime being the most unique coach in the country once again, Pablo Torre's report on UNC, Texas Tech throwing trash on the field, and Week 8 picks. Let's go.
Squad!
Coming to you live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores, is DNVR Buffs Live. And yep, once again, we are joined by the amazing, incredible Romi Bean.
I'm so pumped to be here. I finally got the call up
To
hang with the fellas. Let's go.
You have an open invitation in case you didn't know this already.
You're going to regret that one.
I mean, you were already the pregame show host, and you really saved our lives that weekend.
That was but I will say the only time I've been on the show, the Buffs then had a dominating win, and nobody thought they were going to win.
Sure did.
With our now friend, RJ Harvey. They dominated
I know.
RJ Harvey. So that bodes good for the next game.
So you're saying we're winning next weekend?
I guess.
You heard it first.
Write
from
it
Romi
down.
Bean.
Lock it in. How we feeling? Good to see you. Good to be
Good to
here.
see you guys.
Hell
Good to see
yeah.
you know, before we get started, I feel like flowers. I got to give flowers. You guys are the best. I appreciate
please.
you guys so much. Everybody knows I'm a big DNVR stan, but I just love what you guys do. I love how you take a different approach than so many other people. Like in this media scape, that's what it's all about. And you guys do such an amazing job of connecting with the fans, and that's what it's all about. So I just want to give you your flowers. People don't give flowers enough. People give a lot of nastiness. So
Yeah.
you guys kill it.
We appreciate that. Honestly, one of my favorite pieces of content every week is Coach Prime's playbook with you and Coach Prime. I feel like just the way you get him to talk about things is unique. Like I feel like he doesn't get the chance to open it up too often, but it seems like when he sits down with you, he's really comfortable, and that's a credit to you and your craft. So since we're giving out flowers right now, you deserve a whole bouquet, Romi.
Yeah, Romi's goated.
Oh, that means a lot. That means a lot.
Well, speaking on the playbook, it's now year 3 for Coach Prime's playbook. I mean, are you guys just like, do you even like plan a show? Is it like us now? You just turn the mics on and you just record whatever you record?
Yeah, you know, it's been so much fun. That means a lot that you say that too, Scott, because it's been like such a process, right? The first year we started, it was like Sam wanted to see the rundown every single week. And what are you going to ask him? And, you know, kind of feeling it out. Like, who are these people that are, we just kind of popped on the scene. Hey, we're doing a coach's show. And they're like, okay, you know, and then quickly that kind of fell off, and Sam stopped asking for the rundown, and that was the first step that was like, cool, I'm earning Coach Prime's trust, and I'm earning his respect. And I think for me, one of my favorite parts of the show is that I've really had to work really hard to earn his respect and his trust, and that's something that I don't take for granted. And I mean, I get crap all day long about throwing softballs and this, that, or the other.
We do too. Don't worry.
You know, but like at the end of the day, it's like that's not what this show's about. This show is for Buffs Nation. This is for people who want to hear about the squad from Coach, and I'm not here to grill him and fry him. What's the point of that? So I think that, but still, you know, being able to ask some of the tougher questions, and sometimes I'll do that, and he's great and he's funny with it, and he was really funny a few weeks ago with it.
Sure.
And so it's been an honor, you know, to kind of develop this working relationship with Coach Prime and see him in a different light. Like, it's so hard, you guys know this, in a press conference setting to really kind of have a back and forth.
Yes.
You get to ask one question and then the mic goes to somebody else.
Yeah.
It's so hard. It's like that with every sport, and it's just tough. It's tough to like create like relationships. So I try and use that opportunity to. We actually, the show gets recorded right after the press conference.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So the first year I never listened to the press conference, and I was asking a lot of the same questions. I could tell Prime was like kind of bored, and it didn't connect. So now I'll listen, and a lot of time my script goes like way out the window because I know I try not to ask like current events and this, that, and the other because you're all going to ask that and it airs the next day. And so it's a good challenge to ask different questions and things that aren't getting asked, in the presser. And I've found kind of more joy and better content in doing that and challenging myself. And a lot of time on the fly because it's like,
for sure.
Damn it, Scott, stop asking all the good questions.
No, I'm dead. You brought up, I think it was a couple weeks ago where a coach was just like, you won one today. Like, I don't know what's gotten into you today with these questions, but I think you found a really good balance of building the rapport with him and asking questions that Buff Nation wants to hear, but also asking some of the questions that Buff Nation like really wants to hear the answers to. Some of the stuff that maybe doesn't get asked in the presser or whatnot. Now that you're in year 3 of doing the playbook with Coach Prime, Coach Prime's playbook, how would you say he has kind of evolved in kind of just your interactions with him and just his comfortability as the head coach, the face, the leader of this program?
Yeah, I think it's like through the trials and the tribulations, he knows exactly what this program is. And he's confident, obviously, as we know, in who he is and in what he has. He doesn't really, like, as much as if it's good or bad, he doesn't really like beat around the bush about it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd say like the first 2 years, it was when there was like bad games, it was easy to kind of beat around it, if you will, because somebody was still always balling out. It's like, all right, well, let's talk about Jimmy's game.
For sure.
All right, let's talk about LeJonte's game. All right, let's talk about Travis. And by the time we were like done with all that, it was like, even if they had a bad week, you only got a couple questions in.
Yeah.
This year, it's like a little bit different when they've had some of those bad games and like kind of nobody's, showed up. I'm not going to like artificially pick out a player. And so you get in there and you have to ask a little bit more of those tougher questions about what's going on. I think it's been fascinating this year seeing, he talked about he was excited to be a coach without his sons. But I do think that big picture, it has been so different, right? And so seeing how he kind of has taken that leap has been really impressive because I think that's probably a bigger challenge than he'll ever like acknowledge to us, right?
No, definitely.
And seeing how I think the whole quarterback situations, I've never asked him this, but I think it's probably a lot different than he expected in regards to he's coached Shador's whole life.
Yeah.
So mentally, you always knew what you were going to get from Shador, and Shador, as we know, is such a mentally sound guy, right? And so this is a whole different situation now where you're jumping into guys where you don't know how they're going to handle your criticism and kind of seeing him navigate that, I think has been really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking lately. I mean, the word transition keeps on coming up, and usually it's transition year that we keep on talking about. But we also, and I keep on trying to bring these things up, we don't talk enough about a lot of the things that happen behind the scenes, like Coach Prime dealing with his cancer this summer and how that affected the team. As you mentioned, not having Shador, his son's on the team, and a new quarterback with that. So it is a year of growing, but I mean, it's cool to see like you kind of and the show grow alongside him because you are able to get some of those nuggets out of him that, we're dying to hear in the press conferences, but you're actually able to get those answers out of him.
Well, if you guys have questions, let me know. I'll try and ask them too. Seriously.
No, you do good enough.
One other thing I want to say that I feel like Coach Prime never gets credit for, and one of my favorite parts of the show is the player segment. And Coach Prime brings in such quality young men, and it just doesn't get said enough. And maybe that has nothing to do with what's on the field, but maybe it does. And I feel like, people are so quick to like dog on the program. These are some of the most respectful, well put together, mentally strong young men. A lot of them come from, really hard lives, and they are just, you never hear about these kids getting in trouble, right? And there are programs where you hear about that all the time. And I just think that people are so obsessed with the hoopla that they don't give enough credit. Every single player that I've had on the show, they will leave, and I'm so impressed with the conversation we had. And I always wish that segment could be longer. Yeah. They're really, really great young men, and it just doesn't get said enough. So I feel like any opportunity to say it, we have to say it.
With character.
Yep.
Yes.
That's what we say on this show.
With character. And I think it's a good segue because I wanted to ask you this. They've all been great.
Yeah.
They all have character like we're talking about. Has there been an interview or two or a player or two where you're like, that young man like really impressed me? Like maybe some of your favorite kind of player interviews that you had
this season?
Yeah.
Simeon Price was
definitely.
I mean, man, talking to him about being in the portal for 6 months.
Twice.
Right? Yeah.
2 different times.
Unbelievable. And asking him about that, and his response was so mature.
Yeah.
And to be so honest, he doesn't know me, right?
For sure.
From a from a potato sack outside. To be so honest about how hard that was for him, about the mental struggles he went through, and how he was kind of nasty to his family for a little bit, and then he had this kind of, aha moment of who to rely on, and to navigate through that. I was so impressed with his maturity. And the way he handled that at that young of an age.
Right.
Imagine looking for a job twice for 6 months, and to come out and to be where he is so impressive. He's really stood out to me. I think Draylen Miller is just a ray of sunshine. Just a ray of sunshine.
Always smiling.
Just joy, man. And
Definitely.
so he's just so fun to talk to. And he was on the show the year before too. So just to see how he's grown a little bit has been a lot of fun as well. Gosh, everyone's been so great. We had Omarion Miller on last, which I forgot to post his stuff. He was great. I loved how he was also really honest about, I asked him, because remember that USC game his freshman year? Of course,
how could you forget?
Oh my gosh. And then his sophomore year, and then he gets hurt and he misses 7 games. And, I'm always fascinated with how athletes get through that, because I think people don't realize how dark, how lonely it is.
Nope.
And he was really open about it too. He said his mental space, he wasn't in a great space. And then he really made sure that people around him were the right people around him. Again, at 20-something years old, to recognize that. But again, credit to Coach Prime, because he's there making sure that they have the right people around him. So to see what they go through to get back to where they are, I'm always just so impressed by them. Just a great group of guys.
Yeah, that's what makes college football so special. When you mentioned Simeon talking about, he was in a dark place, like he wasn't maybe treating his family and friends the way he wanted to. That just made me think about when we had Ben Finiseth on the show. And he was talking about that early in his career at Colorado. He wasn't being a good teammate, and he knew that. And a flip kind of just switched where he focused on just being a good teammate and being that good guy in the locker room. And we obviously see him now. He is a regular contributor on the defense. He's a legitimate leader on that team.
Yeah, for sure.
Not to mention arguably the funniest
and also
player
Prime
on that team. And White Prime. White Prime and Wilo. I mean, that was so funny. But that's I think, like I said, the part of college football in particular that's so special and that people don't talk about. These are young men who are developing as human beings.
Right.
In the midst of trying to go out there on Saturdays, on game days, and perform. So that's one of the coolest things about this sport in particular that I really love.
No doubt, man. Okay, let's just take our first break here. I think that's a good segue to our next topic. I mean, I'm sure everyone's seen it by now. The meeting on a few days ago. When was that?
Yeah,
Wednesday?
I think 2 days ago. Yeah.
Before the bye week scrimmage, that video of Coach Prime went viral. We'll get to that on the other side of this break, though. Shout out to our friends over at Taco Bell and their new Cantina chicken menu, man. We tried the Cantina chicken bowls last week. We tried, I had my first ever Mexican pizza this week.
Yeah, how was that?
I've heard a lot of great things about that item.
Yeah.
And you know what? Y'all were probably right. Y'all were right. I slept. But check out their new Decades menu. And also don't forget about the Buffs box. $7 featuring 4 Taco Bell classics and a large drink in a CU Buff player collectible cup. Taco Bell is also a proud sponsor of CU Athletics and will be donating $1,000 to the Golden Buffalo Scholarship Foundation for every CU touchdown scored this year. Obviously, no touchdowns this week. Romi said we're going to win next week, so maybe we have 5 touchdowns added to the tracker.
That's what I'm expecting.
Buffs love the bell. Shout out Taco Bell.
And shout out to the squad, our good friends over at Breckenridge Brewery, man. Y'all know we love our Breck beers over here at DNVR, especially that new West Coast style IPA, man. It's called the Ridge Runner. It's a double dry hop brew inspired by the untamed beauty of Colorado's trails and creates those little beautiful notes of bright citrus and pine. And as you already know, Breckenridge Brewery is the official craft beer of DNVR because they have a beer for any occasion, and there's just no better way to watch a game than having some Breck brews nearby. Try out some of our favorites, like the Avalanche Amber Ale, the Mile High City, my personal favorite, that Fun Slinger. So check out the beer locator at breckbrew.com to find a brew near you, and shout out to Breckenridge Brewery.
Shout out Breck Brew. All right, Dion, let's roll that video of Coach Prime at the team meeting, and then we'll talk about it after.
Like that. A lot of you guys that don't get to play, you're going to get your chance today. All right, this is your chance, because I'm not crazy enough to think that all of you are going to be in this room next year. Some of you are going to jump in the portal. This is an opportunity for you to get some portal film. Okay? So I'm the kind of coach that's going to make sure we cut it, hype it up, give it to you however you want it, and make sure you're looking good in your portal tape. So this is, some of you guys that don't get to play, they're planning on jumping. You already made up your mind you're jumping, so I'm just trying to help you jump. Okay? The rest of you guys plan on just staying here, roughing it out, doing your doggone thing. I want you to get you some good tape, get you some good film so you can assess yourself. And you all should be watching yourself practice. You all should be watching yourself to see how you go about it, to see what improvement you need, what you got to work on. But this is your day. I think we got cheerleaders for you today. I don't know if we got band members. I know they're trying, but I'm trying to get the whole shebang to make you have the feeling that it's game day for you. So when you come out there, it's game day. You're gonna have your own stretch, right? They stretching. You gotta stretching them separately. The rest of you guys is playing, practicing. We gotta have a good practice today to end this thing. But you're gonna stay your butt here, don't leave, and support your teammates. Coaches, main staff, we going up top to watch them. Don't be around them, let the rest of the coaches and support staff. You guys got this today. Everybody got this. Make sure they're running on and off the field as we do in the game. We're gonna have everybody on the one side of the field, far side, cheerleaders gonna be on the near side. So you're gonna do your thing. Have a great day today. You guys that's playing in the game, get your minds right.
There's no one like Coach Prime, man. I mean, Dion played at CU, obviously. I mean, this isn't unique to
Our
have this
producer
like
Dion.
Yeah, producer Dion.
You got people, what?
I know. To have these like bye-week scrimmages for the guys that don't play, but to be so upfront about it and say like, look, not everyone's going to be here. We know some of you already wanted to jump.
Yeah.
We'll help you out.
Yeah.
No one else is saying that though in the country.
Exactly.
I love that. Just a straight shooter. I mean, it's one of the, like, also think about this, because at the end of the day now, especially with NIL, college football, it's a job. It was a job before they got paid anyway.
Sure.
But in what other line of work do you have a boss saying, let me help you if you want to go find another job? No, nobody does that. That's pretty awesome. And that's what makes Prime so great, is that it's like he's just accepts the reality of what college football is now. And he accepts that half those guys might leave, but a whole new half might come in.
Yep.
Yeah.
But to want to help, it's just awesome, right? To say, look, I get it. Let me try and help you out. You're never going to play here, but you want to go play somewhere else. Like, that's so top tier.
Mm-hmm. It really is. You look up players coach in the dictionary, it's going to be a picture of Coach Prime right there smiling at you, because that's exactly what he is. And I think the coolest part right there is the idea of a bye-week scrimmage for the young guys, the guys who don't play a lot or at all, isn't a brand new concept. It's been going around. But what I really like what Coach Prime said there is, like, we're going to cut it up for you. We're going to present it in a way that's going to make it look good to the next schools. And that is a big difference where I got practice clips, but it's a whole different thing if you got a practice highlight film that looks professional, that you can send out to coaches in schools and whatnot, and do that whole thing. And it makes me think about last offseason too, when guys were entering the portal from, like, he gave a shout to Jordan O and Wasim.
Wasim, yeah.
Yeah, like listen, he literally said it point blank, like, we just got too many guys in our room. Like, this is a talented player, but it's a numbers game. That's what he was saying last offseason too. Like, it's a numbers game, and Coach Prime understands better than anybody where college football is at this point, and he knows it. He says it right there. There are dudes already in that room who have made up their mind, like, I'm gone after the season. You know what I'm saying? So for him to not only want to help, but put in the extra effort to help somebody land on their feet in a different spot for a different opportunity, nobody else in college football is doing that. And that's what makes Coach Prime truly 101 and unique.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about like the human elements and all that, and it's clear, like, I mean, he cares about his players and all. This is just a great recruiting tactic too.
Yeah.
Because other players in the portal are going to see this and you go, you know what? He truly cares about me.
Yeah.
And, he's helping these guys out right now already. Like, why wouldn't I want to come play? I mean, that's got to be the biggest takeaway from that video, is who wouldn't want to play for this guy?
Right.
You talk about Wasim and Onavu, JB entered the portal last year. Coach Prime even shouted him out on social media, like, even though you're leaving me, blah, 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 like, I'll help you out, all this stuff. Look at this. JB comes back. Now he's, like, emerging as one of the best linebackers on the team. Like, these are the type of things that coaches do that, like, pay dividends in the long run, not just with your players, but with all players. Like, this opens everyone's eyes.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's just a cool thing to do, right? Like, you don't have to do that. If people are going to leave, like, and it just shows, like, that there's just a right way to treat people and to not take things personally. And even though he's got it's personal, that stuff's not personal, though, right? Yeah. He gets that stuff. And I think it's reciprocal. I think that's what a good coach is. It's where it's like shooting you straight. Look, you're not going to play here, but let me help you play somewhere else. And like you said, if you're a young kid and you're a little confused, well, let me go there. Because even if I don't play, well, then I can use that as a springboard to go somewhere else.
Yeah, I'll have a nice practice highlight tape at the very least.
For sure. That's playing the long game for real. Because like you said, the immediate dividends might not pay out, but somewhere down the line, you're going to get somebody because you know what? I know because of that video, I know Coach Prime really cares about me more than these other coaches. And that is just what the best ones do. And that's why he's one of them.
And I'm just glad this video blew up because there's been so much viral like negativity about Colorado and like people just, it's very easy to take shots at this program from the outside, especially when you don't know what's going on. But like the reception to this one was like, almost like you're starting to see like the turn. Like Coach Prime's been here 3 years. He signed the extension. Like gone through all this health stuff for the kids, really, for his players. And then now he's doing this. Like I think that's really good, and it might help because what we'll talk about later, Bill Belichick is like getting a lot of heat right now. And so it's very easy to have like that be the common enemy in college football right now. I don't know. It's just awesome to see that because we've had 3 years of like. Oh God, here we go again. No, this is wrong. You don't understand. Blah 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 blah. So
one thing I found surprising too is like, it's rightfully so, but that video had like a universal approval rating. Like
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm
yes.
saying? Like people who normally I would expect to be hating on Colorado, they're like, you know what? This is actually kind of cool. And that just it should be obviously, but for everybody, it does kind of seem like nationally. People are starting to warm up to Coach Prime and what he is building here at Colorado because the last couple of off seasons, it's felt like war. You know what I'm saying?
Literally, yes.
I think everyone thought he was going to leave.
Yeah,
Shador and Travis and everybody left, and then he went through all of his health stuff. And I think the off season, nobody knew what was going to happen. And to be frank, if he said, "Hey, I can't coach," everybody would have said, "Okay,
makes sense.
You just had your bladder removed, and and then to go through. I mean, what was it? A couple weeks ago, that was insane. He did his press conference. He did my show, and then he went and he got a procedure done. And then he's on the field on Saturday.
It's crazy.
I mean, that's insanity. And like, I knew exactly what his response was going to be. Got to. And you knew he was going to say it. And it's like, that's not about him. He really cares about these young men. And to go through everything he's going through, I think it is giving people some perspective this year where it's, I don't know how you can dog on someone who's going through all of that personally. Yeah. And he just wants to be there for his players on Saturday and throughout the week.
You just scroll up a little bit in the chat, Dion. It was a simple, Ryan just goes, coaches with a good character. You can't expect and ask your players to have character.
Facts.
And you don't exhibit that on a daily basis. And that's exactly what Coach Prime is doing. And that's how you build equity. That's how you build trust with your players, with your program. Like, you don't ask somebody to do something that you're not yourself doing. And if
that's
you want
accountability.
That's exactly what it is. And that's obviously one of Coach Prime's biggest buzzwords right there as well. So it's a good point.
No doubt. We can use this as a little segue. I mean, there's a lot of good vibes around the team, around the program right now, especially coming after that loss or that win on Saturday. Just where are you at with this team right now? Do you think that they have turned the corner? Do you think this is still like an ongoing process this year?
Yeah.
Maybe kind of a lost year? Like, where are you at with this football team?
I don't think it's a lost year. I think the hard thing with college football is the season's so short, right? Where it's like you lose a couple games and man, it's really hard to make it into the playoffs or make it into the conference, championship. It's just so hard where it could literally just be a couple of games. That's what makes, I think, people sometimes feel like, oh, it's a lost year, and why people were clamoring for Juju so early on, even though Juju just not ready yet. I love that they're hopefully doing the right thing, right, and pacing that out. But I think that a few weeks back, I wasn't sure how things were going to go. It felt like those first few weeks you weren't seeing those incremental improvements. Right. And then I feel like as of late we have started to see those incremental improvements. And at the end of the day, that's all you ask for. The thing I love the most about football is that it just it's one game a week. It's built for overreaction, and that's what we do, and that's what makes it so great. That's what makes it the best sport in the world. Yeah. But it's hard to be patient. But you are seeing, defensively, I mean, tackling starting, to get better. You're seeing takeaways. You want to see some takeaways, right? I mean, Tawfiq Byard's been great all year, but you're seeing big plays. The run game, I so much shout out to the run game to go from being the worst run program in all of college football for 2 straight years to have any semblance of a run game, to recruit anyone to want to run here, and to see that really take off. Obviously, unfortunately, you've had some injuries, but continue to see this run game build, I think, has been such a positive.
For sure.
The offensive line has been such a positive, and I think it's true in with every team that you kind of live and die by your quarterback in so many ways. But I think with Caden, the biggest thing is seeing his confidence start to grow. It's so
Yes.
important for this team. And it was shaky really early in the year. And that win over Iowa State the past few weeks, I feel like you started to see that kind of come along as well. So it is like a growing year in so many ways. And I know people don't love that. You just want to see wins. But you think about, we always talk about like, it's the first year without Shedeur and Travis, but it's not just them, right? And I mean, it was Jimmy, and it was LaJohante, and it was Will Shepherd, and it was Cam Silman Craig. I mean, good, I go on and on.
Right.
You had playmakers everywhere. So you're just like, you're not just rebuilding a team in terms of playmakers, but in terms of identity, in terms of who these cats are. And there was so much confidence and guys out there, right? That new guys have to step into those roles.
For sure.
And people always just expect you to just jump into it and be that guy. You can't force someone to be that guy if they're not that guy.
Yep.
And so identifying that, all of that takes time. And so I do feel like we're seeing this team start to gel and start to get its confidence and start to play to its strengths. And it's just taken, it's taken a little bit of time, but you're seeing it a little bit week by week, I feel.
I think that's why it's so frustrating, though, because it's a lot of words like leadership and gelling, and it's like these abstract kind of concepts almost that, of course, to people on the outside, it's like, what does that even mean? Like, just play this guy or just do this. Like, it should be that simple, but it's like, these are real people inside the building. And Scott says it all the time, growth is not linear. Like, we can want all these young guys to come up and assume these roles that the Cams, LaJontes, Jimmys that they had, just in terms of the voice of being there and holding people accountable and all that. So I think that's where a lot of the frustration this season, at least from the fan base, comes from. There's just, it's real people, and it's a football team is really that. It's a bunch of relationships, guys coming together for one common goal. And, sometimes there is splinters. Sometimes it's worse than we think it is, like in 2023, right? But like this year, it is. I do think there's a common goal, and I do think it's a good team. Like, this is not a bad football team again. So I understand the frustration too with the fans. It's just, it is what it is. We got to tough it out.
I think there's so many things like that you just want to fast track, and
Yes.
you can't. And there's no, like you said, there's no like tangible asset to explain it. But when you've covered this long enough, you just see it, and you just see when guys, he's got that it factor, right? And how many guys had that it factor last year? And sometimes when all of those guys have it, nobody has the opportunity to step up, and then the lights get on there. And Coach Prime said it, the lights have been too bright for some of these guys.
For sure.
And so that's a feeling out process. But again, the season's so short. There's only 12 games that it just feels like everyone feels like a lost opportunity if it's not that way from the start of the year.
Exactly.
I think Wilson, the ghost, is kind of alluding to it there. Robert Livingston told us this spring, out the gate, unprovoked, we're going to have 7-8 new starters on defense.
Yep.
We're going to have to figure out who our leaders are. You replace an entire offensive line besides Jordan Seaton. You have a new quarterback. You have new skill position players. Like, this was always going to take a little bit of time. This was never going to look like a finished product in week one, even in week two, even before your first bye. So anybody thinking that Caden Salter was going to immediately hit the ground running and look like a semblance of a Shedeur Sanders or a Heisman Trophy winner by some people's estimation, like, that was just never going to happen right away. But it doesn't mean that it can't happen at some point in the season, because I think you mentioned confidence with Caden as well. Like, that's so important. This team, the last 2 years, mostly because of the head coach and Shedeur and Travis, was never at a loss for confidence. Never lacked confidence. And that is one of those abstract things, like one of those things that aren't tangible. You can't touch confidence, but it is very important, particularly in this sport, particularly at the quarterback position, at every position. And if you don't have that, it's going to leak out into some play. You're going to see it out on the field sometimes if somebody isn't exactly, confident in their abilities and their scheme and what they're doing out there on the football field. So, like I said, I think it just takes time, and maybe potentially Saturday's game was a turning point. We'll see. We'll see for sure next week in Salt Lake.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Winning's a skill.
It is.
So is finishing.
And you have to feel it, and you have to do it, and you have to do it in different ways. We always talk about like teams, finding ways to lose. More that old cliche, more games are lost than won.
Yes.
And it's so true. And it's like we saw that a lot at the beginning of this year is those key moments that it comes down to tiny. Sometimes a game can come down to 3 key moments, right?
Yep,
and what do you do in those 3 moments? And that dictates, if you're finding a way to win or finding a way to lose. And you have to learn how to win tight games, win in weird ways, win in ugly ways,
Yeah.
overcome your mistakes, win in blowouts, all of these things. But you can only do that by doing it. And that's the thing at the end of the day. There's no other way to gain that experience. And a lot of these guys are young, and a lot of these, even for Caden, hasn't done it at this level.
Right.
Yes.
You have to do it at this level before you can feel confident to continue doing it in those really stressful situations.
No doubt.
Totally. Let's take our next break. Then we got a few other topics before we get to picks. Shout out to the homies over at Common Spirit. Athletes, weekend warriors, anyone who loves to move. For those experiencing any sports injury or chronic pain, the Common Spirit Mountain Range is home to an incredible sports medicine program, including their new Sports Center Common Health in Parker. They got a team of qualified and passionate providers who specialize in the diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of sports-related injuries for all athletes, including your Denver Broncos players. I have a question for you about the Denver Broncos at the end of the show, by the way.
Okay, let's go.
Me too, actually. Now that you mentioned that.
Well, let's do this then.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
This isn't just about fixing what's broken. It's about
know where this
preventative
is
care. We might fight on the set here. Performance enhancement and getting you back to peak condition safely and quickly. Don't let an injury keep you on the bench, or even better, get proactive about your health. For more info, visit mountain.commonspirit.org. Common Spirit Health, official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos.
And shout out to the squad, our good friends over at Game Time, man. You already know what time of the year it is, man. We are in the thick of football season, basketball season. I think opening night is Tuesday night, if I'm not mistaken, for the NBA.
Already.
I know, it's crazy.
Are you ready?
Man.
Your life's about to go crazy.
I'm never ready.
The NHL is rapidly approaching. And if you want to get in the building at your favorite sporting event, maybe a concert, maybe even a comedy show, man, our friends over at Game Time, they got you covered. And here's one of my favorite features of the Game Time app. It's the seat views, man. You can get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. And that is just so clutch. I also love that priority fees are included, man. You know your total up front, and there are no surprise fees at checkout. So take the guesswork out of buying college football tickets with Game Time. Download that Game Time app, create an account, and use code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off. Tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it, y'all?
Game time. Game time. All right. Let's talk about Texas Tech and the Tortillas. Were you there in Lubbock last year?
I was not at that game.
So
That was crazy.
Yeah, so you watched it. You probably
yeah.
saw all that, what was going on. You probably had a better view than us, actually.
Tortilla madness.
Yeah. Did you hear about what happened last week?
Yeah. But, okay, so going forward now, you get a warning, and then the second one is
The penalty.
15 yards and 100K, right?
I
Yep.
believe so, yeah.
I hate that. I think that, well, so like last year, the Tortillas were crazy, but the Buffs players weren't even upset about that. It was when they started like chucking water bottles.
Like
Exactly.
trash,
When it
yeah.
got out of hand, right?
Exactly.
The Tortillas, it's such a, I don't know where you guys fall on this, but I just think it's like, that's a fun tradition. I think it's a bummer to lose that one. I'll never forget when Travis took one and he put one in his pants, right? Like that's the best. How are you going to police this? Because again, our students are probably going to put them in their pants when they go through security. And it's like, this is so hard because you're asking thousands and thousands of 20-something drunk kids to not, don't do this because then it's going to hurt your football team and hurt your program. But like, come on, they don't care.
Right.
And they get drunk and they're like, whatever.
Yeah,
you
for
know what I
sure.
mean? And they're not trying to be harmful and nasty or like hurtful. I don't know. This feels really hard to police this and to like get an entire fan base to stop doing this when half of them are inebriated as well. And then to get fined 100K is just, that just feels so steep because, I mean, you know how kids are.
Right.
And they're not even trying to be hurtful, but they'll just, be stupid.
Just doing stuff.
You know, like
Just
someone
to
will
do
throw it and then they'll get on the mic and then some other guy, you know?
Yeah.
I just feel like that's such a slippery slope.
So I think they cross the line at a certain point, though. Like if you
Yeah.
want to do it on the opening kickoff or whatever, or before the opening kickoff, whatever. Have your little tradition, fine. But when it's like the fourth kickoff,
No, totally.
and it's the third quarter, and you're still like throwing stuff on the field, like that's when it gets ridiculous to me. And you know, we mentioned it, the trash and all the stuff that was being thrown last year. Whatever happened last week with the pocket knife. I mean, both Kansas and Tech ended up getting fined over that. You know, people were saying the Big 12 was saying KU was lying or something crazy.
Yeah.
But it's again, you cross the line too many times. Like I think that this is just like the natural reaction. Also, it's a very like slippery slope. ASU's coming to town this year. ASU they need a win badly.
Yeah.
If I'm an ASU fan, what's stopping me from bringing in a pack of tortillas and trying to get Texas Tech penalized?
That's the biggest issue with it.
Yeah.
I think the tradition isn't being thrown away because again, like you get one warning.
Yes.
So like the opening kickoff, they still want to do that. Have at it. But like after that is obviously when the penalty and the $100K fine comes in. But that's the biggest issue right there because who's stopping a student at Arizona State going to that game and be like, oh,
because they're throwing a flag on Tech.
They're not, of course.
A really good point.
We're down 14-3 in this game. We need an infection of energy. Yeah, let's see if we can get 15 yards right here. You know what I'm saying? Like
you're getting blown out and you're pissed off.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to happen, especially now. Texas Tech got a real target on their back because they're actually a really good football team. So I don't know. It's going to be what you said, Romi. It's going to be really hard to police this, and I do not envy the staff in that stadium on game day that has to try to police that the best as they can.
Doing like tortilla pat downs at security. It's like
a tortilla scanner.
Yeah, they got to get it.
It's crazy, but this is
flour detected.
But this is partly Texas Tech's fault though for allowing it to get to this point. Where the Big 12, because this is a Big 12 directive, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm pretty sure, yep.
For Brett Yormark to feel like he had to intervene here, clearly it was an issue. And I think last week and maybe Lance Leipold, contributed to it by saying that pocket knives are being thrown on the sideline, which according to the Big 12 is not true. That probably contributed to it, but it's going to be interesting to see. Are they at the crib this weekend, Texas Tech?
Actually, I don't think they are. I think Texas Tech is on the road. Yes, Texas Tech is on the road, but like the point remains, like I don't care who it is coming in.
For sure.
Like,
no, you're right.
I mean, seriously, that's a 15-yard advantage for you. And again, they're not going to go, oh wait, that was an ASU fan.
Right.
Hey, not this time. It's all good. Like that's not how it works.
It's hard because it's just such a fine line where it's like when it's affecting, what's happening between the white lines. That's where it's exactly what you said. When it's a 15-yard penalty, and then of course there's the monetary fines too. But when it's affecting the game like that, that's so tricky because of exactly what you said. And so it's like it's so hard, and it's one of those things too where even last year, I remember like Joey McGuire got on the mic and he was like told everyone to like cool it, and guess what happened? People didn't listen.
Exactly.
So it's like as much as the football players and the football team, they don't want that nonsense. They don't want that smoke. That like it has nothing to do with them, and so I think it's really you have to do something to try and limit it. I totally get that, but it's hard that it could mean winning or losing.
Yeah.
When those players who are sweating it out and injured and playing their heart out, and they get screwed over because some ASU fan chucks their tortilla. Like that's crazy.
And I think when Leipold and Joey McGuire met after the game at midfield, and obviously Leipold was pissed about it.
I'm sure.
And McGuire's like, "What do you want me to do, bro? How are you gonna get pissed at me? I'm not out there throwing. I'm telling them to stop. Like, what do you want me to do?" And so, I mean, it's just kind of where they're at with it, and it's unfortunate because there are going to be people at that stadium, inebriated or not, who want to look cool in front of their homies. Like, hey, watch this.
Yeah.
Right.
Watch
Look what I got.
Yeah. It's just going to happen. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Throwing things on the field altogether should just not go for me.
And Mitchell mentions it there, bro. Even the shit that the TCU fans pulled a couple weeks ago,
and they did that shit 2 years ago too.
It's like they were throwing water bottles with liquid in them on the field because they were pissed about that one call. And
that was crazy. I forgot about that.
I know.
Yeah.
I was literally wondering, I'm like, are they going to have to stop this game?
Yeah.
Because they were not letting up. Those fans were throwing a bunch of stuff on the field.
I don't know if it's me, but does it feel like it's just gotten worse the last couple of years?
For sure.
Yes.
Like just throwing crap on the field?
Yes.
Like, I don't know why people think this is acceptable.
I don't know.
It's crazy, man.
It's just be an adult. Like, I don't know. And it's just crazy. It just feels like more and more.
Mm-hmm.
You can boo. You can be pissed.
Right.
For sure.
Like, I don't know why people think it's remotely okay to throw things on the field.
Yep.
It's just insane.
Yeah, I remember. Do you guys remember that? It's like the Browns-Jags game from like 2003 or whatever. And the Browns got like robbed by the refs for like an extra down that Jacksonville got for spiking the ball. And they were throwing like, this was before they like went to plastic cups and people were throwing like glass bottles on the field and stuff. This was 20 years ago. And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And we've just gotten, to your point, we've just kind of accepted it. Like, there they go, throwing trash on the field again.
No,
it's crazy.
No.
Not okay.
Yeah.
It's like somebody make a compilation of every.
Yeah, seriously.
Probably too many games to do it.
Totally.
Wasn't there a big deal last year? Like somebody had to step in because their fans were throwing a bunch of. Was that Texas?
Oh, I do remember this.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That sounds about right. It might not have been, but I don't know.
Because I remember there being like a big thing made about it. Like there was like a statement made or something. I don't know. I'm gonna try to.
Yeah, no, you're right. This did happen recently, and it was probably just because of a bad call or something.
Yeah,
again,
exactly.
And, like people just decided that we can just act like we're in a zoo all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So
like the fact that a head coach has to get on a mic and in the middle of a game when he's got a meal and tell the fans to stop acting like idiots is just absurd.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Texas was fined
Oh, that was
$250K, and Texas had to apologize to Georgia and officials. $250K is crazy loss. Yeah, after a controversial pass interference call.
And that's what happened at TCU too.
Yeah.
There was a flag they didn't like, and they decided let's just throw trash on the field. It's crazy. The other hot topic today. Shout out Pablo Torre, just on an all-time heater right now.
Yeah.
I mean, geez. He teased it earlier in the week that he's got some stuff on UNC, and he delivered today. The big one, it's a video coming out from his Twitter account, or his podcast Twitter account, Pablo Finds Out. Go check it out. It's crazy, but it's...
Pablo found out.
He definitely did find out. So I'm reading this article from Adam Wells at Bleacher Report kind of explaining this. The video shows Hudson micromanaging graphics for a show that Bill Belichick and I think Matt Patricia's in there. It's a show called like Coach that was being filmed last year. And she's literally like running this like event basically, like telling people how to edit, how Photoshop works. And like, it's crazy to me. Like, I wish, like, I saw someone tweet out, like, I wish I was as smart as Jordan Hudson thinks she is. Cause damn, like, she's for real in there just trying to run this thing.
There was another dude in there. Somebody made a point about her. He's like, he's got his head down while she's talking. He's like, bro, please, please.
Yeah, I saw something on that guy who's just his hands are on the table and he's like,
please shut up.
He also talked about Mike Lombardi and the trip to Saudi Arabia to try and fundraise. Again, it's chaos. It's just one thing after another with this program. What do you think about what's going on at UNC, Romi?
Yeah, like I kind of said this to you guys a little before the show, but like I was wrong. I thought Bill Belichick was going to come in there and build this really serious program, and I thought it was definitely going to be like a challenge of if he could relate to these young men, especially when like you've talked to enough people who played for Bill Belichick
Right.
and who played for the Patriots, and they tell us these stories of what it was like, and it was just not a friendly environment, but the standard was the standard, and there's all the Lombardis and you accept it, and so you think, well, all of these kids coming in are like, well, I want to get to the NFL, and so we're going to build this really professional program. And it has been anything but. I expected, at minimum, professionalism. I did not expect an absolute clown show, which is what we've been seeing. And it's just, it's like incomprehensible in so many ways that Bill Belichick's in allowing this to happen, right? It's just, it's unbelievable. And like, every time another thing comes out, and then of course you always have to say, come on, this was happening in Boulder. What would people be saying?
Exactly.
Oh, we seem to be, but at the same time, everybody is, it's just shocking to see how quickly this has just unfolded into absolute chaos. And look, for the longest time, I've just been like, you know what, whatever he wants to do with Jordan Hudson, fine. Let the man live, like whatever. But when you're letting it interfere with business to this point, right? When she's talking about the graphics about the issue with the red zone and the end zone, like
yes, dude. Oh my god.
She literally says, "I don't have much experience with Adobe Photoshop, but I'm sure it'll just take 3 minutes." Like, girl, go sit down somewhere.
And that's just a microcosm of probably why it's so dysfunctional in there.
Of course.
And how is he like letting this? Bill's got to think about, like, is he not thinking about his legacy?
He clearly does not care about that or his reputation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because this is a very unserious program, a very unserious operation.
Yeah.
And people can relationships change, folks. And I think
For sure.
this is what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Like the Bill Belichick that was coaching Tom Brady and winning Super Bowl with, he is not here anymore.
No,
like this is not that's not the same guy.
He preached like no distractions back then.
Right.
Exactly right. And for him to be the king of distractions now at this point and have it impact his job and his day-to-day is kind of jarring. But like I said, relationships change, folks.
Yeah.
When you with somebody every day, and you know what I'm saying, and they're in your space every day, and they're with you not just when you at home, but they're with you in the workplace.
Yeah.
That is going to impact things, and that is going to rub people the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? And clearly it has.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Players, staffers,
Parents.
parents.
Yeah. It's just
It's crazy.
it's shocking to me because like we joked every time like something would come out, we joke about like, you know, oh, Jordan Hudson's running the program. It's not a joke. She's actually running the program basically. That's insane. Like, and again, this is someone who was tabbed as the greatest coach of all time. Like not that long ago, maybe it's 18 months ago. That's what many people thought of him as. And so I don't know. I just think that UNC's got to reach a breaking point at some point. They got to protect like the university,
Yeah.
like the brand of the university at some point. You know, this is obviously a longstanding institution. Like you can't let Bill Belichick's era define what this university is.
Well, and has there been 1 ounce of good publicity? Genuinely, like since when he got hired and the opening presser was great, but like since then, you know,
I can't think of a
can
single
you
thing.
sprinkle in
The opening drive against TCU.
the first drive of the season. That was it. Going up 7-0.
I'm gonna be honest. I posted, I think college football might be too easy for Bill Belichick, and I didn't delete it. I left it up there to take the punishment.
I think Skip Bayless had a tweet right after that. He was like, "This is a national champion
Yeah.
North Carolina team," and he was just getting cooked for it. But yeah, I don't know. And we were talking about before the show, like the stuff with like Drake May and the directive coming from him reportedly that North Carolina Twitter aren't going to post anything about Drake May or North Carolina players aren't going to Patriot scouts aren't allowed at North Carolina. Like that is, come on, bro. What are we doing, bro?
And not only is that petty, that's harming your players.
Yeah.
If your whole shtick is to be the 33rd team,
Right.
then even if you don't like how something ended with the team, you better allow them in the door. You're saying,
For real,
you know, like, oh, well, you can go to the other 31 teams.
Yeah.
Okay. Making it to the NFL, the margins are this small, and you're
Yes.
going to make it smaller for
Yes.
these kids. That's, I mean, talk about the ultimate turnoff, right?
Seriously.
And it's just, it's to what you said. It's crazy that like, I guess you're so caught up in this relationship, but to let it affect your work in this fashion, especially a guy who's do your job,
Yep.
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
It's like the cornerstone of the Patriots.
It's wild.
It's wild. The 30 for 30, and this is gonna be something.
Oh, I
real.
cannot wait. Pablo, he put a whole podcast out on this today. I
I'm
will
gonna
go
tap
watch
in.
this
Yeah.
entire thing today, and I'm sure this is not the last we'll hear. Last thing for me, I mean, this is completely like there's too many close ties to even compare this, but like if Coach Prime said like, "Yep, Cleveland Browns not allowed in the building," or if it was like New York Giants
It would be a
not allowed in the building,
storm, bro.
oh my God, are you serious?
I couldn't even imagine that.
Yes.
Honestly.
Every single day there'd be something about
Yes.
that, right?
Yeah, it's
I mean,
wild.
there's on the one hand, I'm gonna make you a great highlight reel so you can transfer and go get a job. And no, I'm not gonna allow a pro team in here. Like, think about the just the stark contrast. Of
Think
those
about the literal fact that Adrian Wilson, a true freshman receiver, was committed to Colorado.
right. I forgot about him.
Decommitted and is now in North Carolina. Going from Coach Prime to Bill Belichick, from Colorado to North Carolina.
Yeah,
in this
geez.
economy.
two.
in the big year 2025.
Maybe
It's
some of those
crazy.
players to come out and tell us what's like.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, it was a year after Coach Prime had his big exodus that the big, this is what they treated these guys so wrong piece came out. It's only a matter of time
Yeah.
before we get the UNC one. I'm confident in that.
Y'all think they win tonight?
Who'd they play
tonight?
again?
Cal.
No, Cal's going to work them.
Probably.
My boy, Jaron.
Yeah, what's his name?
Jaron is his name.
Jaron!
Shout out Jaron. He's a baller.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's make some picks. Are we ready?
Let's get it.
All right, Romi is clearly our guest picker. I do have RK's picks. Score update. People have been asking for the score update. It's tightening up. RK is in the lead by 20. He has 28.5 points. He gained 6 this week. Great week for him. I also gained 6. I'm 2 behind him, 26.5 points. Scott is 2 behind me at 24.5. He had 5 points last week, but that's not
Okay, a solid week, but just not enough.
doesn't match 6, bro.
Not enough.
Romy, the last guest picker we had was Dion, actually.
Okay.
He went 50%.
Solid.
He was going 500.
500
Yeah.
is good.
Hey, that comment from David Isabella is kind of hilarious, though. UNC, you're not Colorado.
I might steal that, bro.
For real.
I might steal that. All right. First game on the docket. This is tonight, actually. And this line has moved pretty dramatically from what we have on the graphic.
This is tonight?
I'm pretty sure, yeah, Friday.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Louisville, Miami. The line is now 11.5. So it's gone 2 points in Louisville's favor. Miami is a wagon. They are one of the best teams in the country. Carson Beck is in the Heisman conversation. They were off last week. Louisville,
4-1 this season. Just lost their last game.
They did not
in a
play
close
last week
game
either.
To Virginia.
Okay.
Right before the bye.
That's right. 2 teams on bye. It's a Friday night. It's going to get weird. I'm taking Louisville to cover.
I also like Louisville to cover. I think we're sticking with that 13.5 line, correct?
We'll stick with the 13.5, yes.
Yeah, I think that's just a bit too much. I think Miami wins this game, but I think it'll be a bit closer.
Okay. RK is also on Louisville. Romy, your pick.
Well, I like to go against the grain.
All right. Hell yeah.
So I'm going to go with Miami.
I mean, you're
us.
picking one of the best teams in the country.
sure.
I mean,
Win
if
by
there's-
2
At home.
tutties.
There you go.
Easy peasy.
Yep.
Yes, at home. This game is in Miami. Alrighty, Scotty, did you learn your test here? Because I think the book is telling us something for LSU Vanderbilt. Number 10 LSU traveling to Vandy. The line is 2.5. 2.5 for the 17th ranked Commodores with the 10th ranked LSU Tigers coming into town.
Love it.
I am taking Vanderbilt because the book is telling you to take Vanderbilt at home. RK is also taking Vanderbilt.
Go Tigers.
Oh my! This guy doesn't learn.
Give me LSU. Give me LSU.
He doesn't learn. Unbelievable.
Who you got, Roman?
I got the Fighting Jay Cutlers. Let's go.
Let's go. Hell yeah.
I like that.
Next one. This is a top 10 matchup this weekend. What a game. And Ole Miss has had some success in this matchup in the previous few instances. It is in Athens, Georgia, hosting Ole Miss. Ole Miss is up to number 5 with a former Ferris State quarterback. What's his name again?
Trinidad Chambliss.
Trinidad Chambliss. Kind of
That's
balling
a
out.
name.
Fire name.
Georgia, they've got some weapons. I don't know if they really have the quarterback, though, and they're 7.5 point favorites. RK is taking Georgia. I will take Ole Miss. They have won this game. I'll pull up the stats. They've won like 2 of the last 5 or so matchups in this series. So
I like. I think I like Ole Miss. They kind of slept walk through a win against Wazoo last week, and I think it's because they kind of had an eye towards this game. I think Lane Kiffin and the Rebels keep it close. Give me Ole Miss to cover.
All right.
I'm with you. I like Ole Miss to cover. I think they might lose, but I like Ole Miss to cover.
Same.
cool. Okay, pulling up the history of this matchup. I think Ole Miss won last year, 28-10. I mean, they had Jackson Dart. In 2023, Georgia blew them out. Last time they played before that was 2016. I think that might have been a Chad Kelly game. And Ole Miss put it on them, 45-14. Yeah, what a throwback.
I'm changing my pick. Give me Georgia.
Really?
Yep. Didn't realize Ole Miss won last year. Give me Georgia.
Okay. Next one, another big one in the SEC. Tennessee is traveling to Alabama. This was game of the year last year.
Yeah.
What did it come down to? A last-minute field goal for Tennessee?
Why don't I remember last year's game?
This game was outrageous last year, I'm pretty sure. Or was it Georgia-Tennessee?
I think that's what it was. I think 2 years ago, Alabama-Tennessee had a crazy game.
So this one was 24-17 Tennessee win last year.
Oh, wow, yeah. I love Bama here in this spot.
Yeah, the line is 8. I'm also on Bama.
Oh, I'm with you guys.
Yeah.
Romy's taking Bama.
Yeah.
RK is taking Tennessee. Lone Wolf in it. Next one. We got USC at Notre Dame. The line is 9.5 for the Fighting Irish. USC had a monster win over Michigan last week, but now they have to travel east to South Bend. South Bend is Notre Dame is a similar type of team to Michigan, and USC really rolled them last week. They do have an older, more experienced quarterback in CJ Carr. I'm taking the Irish. RK's taking USC.
I'm surprised you're taking the Irish. Walk me through that.
Again, it's just they're traveling west to east. I think that those teams, whether you're going there or you're coming from there, it's very hard. And plus, they're coming off a big win. I just think it's a natural letdown. This is a rivalry game. Give me Notre Dame.
I just think 9.5 is a little bit too much.
Okay.
And USC really proved last week to me that physicality-wise, like they can hang in the Big Ten against a physical team like Notre Dame. So don't know if USC wins, but like I said, I think 9.5 is too much. I think they keep it close.
My very scientific pick here. Even though they're in a different conference, we don't pick SC. We don't do that in the House of the Buffaloes.
I like that. Yeah.
So give me the Fighting Irish.
I respect it.
Hell yeah. All right, to the Big 12 games we go. Obviously, no Colorado this week. We only have 3 Big 12 games. Baylor, TCU. This is a rivalry game. Baylor, Sawyer Robertson is the leading passer in the country, correct?
That is correct.
TCU, though, they've been very up and down this year. I don't know. I just don't trust them. I'm picking Baylor. And RK is doing the same thing. I think they have the better quarterback. Yeah.
Yep, I am picking Baylor, and I am hammering Baylor for my golden hammer.
So the golden hammer, Romy, is you double down on a pick. It's now worth 2 points if you win it instead of 1.
I like it. So. That's a good one. You know, like TCU first game of the year, they boat raced Bill Belichick's Tar Heels, and I was like, woo, man. And then, I mean, defensively, they've got a lot of flaws.
Yes.
They got a lot of issues.
Exactly.
I don't trust them at all. I take Baylor.
Yeah, that's what it came down to for me, too. TCU can't stop a nosebleed, man, and Sawyer Robertson's just going to dice him up. I can't wait for this one. We talked a little bit about it, maybe in the wrong context, though. Texas Tech at Arizona State. The line is 7.5. Has this moved? It's 7 now on the books, but we'll stick with the 7.5. RK took Texas Tech. I'm taking Texas Tech, and I'm dropping the hammer on Texas Tech. Scotty.
This might be an opportunity for me here.
I mean,
What? How?
ASU might have Sam Levitt back.
I know. And
Are you looking that up right
I am
now?
looking that up. He was probable on the injury report yesterday.
Okay. Everything I'm seeing seems positive.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to play. It looks like he's going to play.
So what are you doing, bro?
Who you got, Romy?
I like Texas Tech. I think they're the best team in the conference. I mean, I think this is going to be a great game. I think it could be close. I think ASU could win, but I'm going to take Tech.
Yeah. Is Texas Tech going to roll everybody the whole season, y'all?
No,
That's fair.
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
7.5.
I know.
ASU's a good team. They could hang, and I could totally see Texas Tech just pulling away and winning a game by 10 late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, man.
I feel like Texas Tech's biggest matchup was Utah.
And they
saw how that went.
smoked them.
Yeah.
And Utah.
Make a pick, bro.
I'm going with the upset.
Okay.
Not the upset, actually. I think Arizona State keeps it close. Give me Arizona State to cover.
Okay.
I got to start taking some chances here. You know what I'm saying? Get up in this lead.
You got to be careful, though, because you're really not that far behind.
I mean,
Fair enough. No, you're right.
it
You're
is a
right.
bye
You're
week.
right.
Scott going to be out there throwing the tortillas.
I'm going to pull up.
That's going to be the 15
Take
yard
matters into my own hands.
There's this random fan in there.
Last game. Colorado's next opponent. What did they call this again? The Holy War. It's a ranked matchup this time, too. Number 23 Utah, number 15 BYU. Who won this game last year, Dion? BYU won last year. It was a close game, right? Yeah, 1 point game.
Yeah.
Utah is favored by 3 for the 40-mile trip south. It is going to be, look, this is not a real road game, but you are walking into a hostile environment if you're Utah.
I'm rolling with the Fighting Deion Smiths.
All right.
Give me the BYU Cougars at home.
I also have taken the BYU Cougars. RK has taken the BYU Cougars, and he's
wow.
dropped the hammer on the BYU Cougars.
That's kind of surprising.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Utes to win this week and lose next week.
There you
yeah.
go. I like that.
See what I did there?
Follow that Iowa State script.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Yeah.
All right, Scotty. This is Friday. The games are played tonight and tomorrow. You can no longer change picks once the show ends, just so you know. Are you locked in here, bro?
Yeah, I think it's fine because, last week we did it on Thursday, which,
Yes.
So, yeah, I think at this point I don't envision there being a change coming.
Okay. We're headed to overtime. If you're watching on your television, head on over to DNVR.com. We're going to wrap up the show. We didn't talk about this, but you changed your pick, and you ended up losing because you changed your pick.
Yeah, I did. It is what it is. You know, it'd be like that sometimes. It's a life lesson for me that I'm coming to.
I tried to tell you when Dylan Edwards was ruled out. This hasn't moved the line.
Just trust my gut. Bro, that don't mean nothing to me, bro. Stop saying that. I don't care about
but
that.
But that's what the game wasn't affected at all.
I don't care, bro. Check this out, Romy. So last week, right, we were picking TCU, Kansas State.
Okay.
I believe TCU was favored by, it was like a pick'em game.
It was 1.5.
1.5, right. So going into that game, I picked Kansas State because I'm like, listen, when Dylan Edwards is out there, like, they're just a different team. And if Dylan Edwards is playing, I'm picking K-State. Yeah. Well, 2 hours after the show ends, it comes out that Dylan Edwards is ruled out. Okay. So I'm like, obviously, I want to change my pick.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like you put an asterisk on it.
Yeah, I mean, so he didn't really want me to do it.
Okay.
I asked RK, and RK was like, yeah, obviously, you should be able to change your pick. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. So
I should change it up to game time?
We allowed it. We
did allow it. It backfired. It backfired. Yeah. But I thought my process made sense.
Don't know if you don't try.
Further context. ASU last week.
Yes, please add this further context.
They were 5.5-point dogs going into this game against Utah. And then, again, we make the picks on Thursday, and then Friday it comes out Sam Levitt's not playing. The line moves like 3 points in Utah's. Like,
so now he want to change his pick.
Yeah, because all of a sudden it's an 8.5-point line, and I'm like, well, I mean, clearly this is going to affect the game. Now, starting quarterback. Yeah, and so I was like, all right, we can change picks. And I changed my pick to Utah. Utah ended up blowing out ASU. I ended up being on the right side, but I tried to tell Scott, look, man, it's a quarterback. The line's going to move on a quarterback. That affects the game a lot more than a running back, even though we all love Dylan. He's great.
That wasn't really a point of contention. Like, obviously, a quarterback is more important.
I was trying to save you from yourself, though, because the point was, look, this hasn't affected the line, and you let it affect your pick.
Yeah, I did.
I was just trying to help you. I tried to help you again I tried to help you 2 weeks ago with Cincy, Texas Tech.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you
tried to help you again. You don't listen.
Hey, right. Romy, what's up with Evan Ingram, G?
Oh, Lord.
Is he finna, like, what are your thoughts on Broncos tight end Evan Ingram? Because I'm asking purely from a fantasy football perspective.
Yeah. God, it's been so weird.
It's frustrating because dude is a good football player. Yeah, and like Sean was raving about him all off season. It's like, all right, well,
and especially the hype that he comes in. He's going to be the Joker.
Yes.
The Broncos have not had a good tight end since, like, I don't know, Julius Thomas.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes.
And Julius Thomas, like, let's be fair, was a product of Peyton Manning. So we could probably go past Julius Thomas, but let's stop at Julius. And so you're like, oh, they finally got a dude.
Sure.
Open up the middle of the field. Let's go. And I mean, he's been like a milk carton guy for the first,
killing me
4 or 5 weeks.
He was hurt,
and then he was hurt, but then he got a little more involved in London, which was great. And
for sure.
I think the part that was frustrating is like in London, it was like 3 of his first 4 catches were for first downs.
Yeah,
it was exactly as dynamic as you were hoping you would see, and then you didn't see him again. And I think with fantasy, because I've fallen victim to this as well, it's hard to pick anyone on a Sean Payton team because
that is true.
Yes.
What Sean loves,
Very true.
like his whole thing is just changing personality.
Right.
Very true.
Right. That's why it's really hard for these guys offensively to get into a rhythm, the running backs to get into a rhythm, because you don't know who's going to get the carries, you don't know who's going to get the targets. I mean, just look at Cortland Sutton, right? He's got games with I think 6 yards and 17 yards, and then he's got games with like 100 something, 90 something, and so it's like it's any given Sunday,
and
it's
sense.
Just like
that's valid.
Fantasy wise, and I've been burned a lot of times. Shouldn't play.
It's the worst.
Lesson learned.
Fantasy football is the worst.
Oh, yeah.
That's my overall take.
But I'm hoping we see more of Evan Ingram. I mean, it's been disappointing,
I do agree with Cornholy, though. I thought about that earlier this week, too. I do think Evan Ingram gets in the end zone this weekend just purely because he's going against his former team. And I feel like Sean's the type of coach who knows that and was like, we're going to get you in there against your old team.
Look at last year against the NFC South. Sean B. Petty. Okay.
Yes,
he's gonna and so he's gonna get Evan in the end zone. I am with you for sure. This does feel like the Evan Ingram revenge game, which would be great.
It would be dope.
I think it'd be great. I think it'd be great for him. Like as a human, again, I know people don't care about that, but he's a great guy and he's definitely really liked in the locker room and all the right things. And so you want to see it kind of translate.
Seems like he's saying all the right things too, in the midst of not probably being as involved as he wants to be. Yeah. He's still being the consummate professional and teammate.
Yeah.
Okay, he was my favorite player ever. He's being honored this weekend. What's your best DT story?
So I've just been like crying all week because I posted on like all the different platforms, like share your best DT memory with me.
Yeah.
And people just have the best memories and these 5-second interactions with him and that smile and just like the most joyful, wonderful human being. I was lucky enough to like, I was a cheerleader when DT played, and then I transitioned into media, so starting to cover him in media. And for me, it's like the profound little things.
Yeah.
Like, so when I was first starting in media and I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I was like, I was having a rough go, you know what I mean? And I was having a rough go transitioning from being a cheerleader to like a media person. And locker room was really difficult for me. And DT, I'll never forget this. Like, it was one of my early locker rooms. He was just so kind to me. It was like he knew. He could tell I was struggling, and he made sure to be like, "Hey, like, what questions you got for me?" You know. And he was so kind.
That's dope.
And he took the time to like answer my question. And it's like he just knew this girl is drowning. And he didn't have to do that, right?
sure.
I mean, these guys got a million things going on, and the media's irritating them and whatever. And like, I'll never forget. He kind of just instilled in this confidence in me. You got this, girl. You got this.
He's such the good.
I mean,
oh my God, man.
And he didn't have
The
to do that.
best.
And it's like he just knew. With so many people, when they needed something, I posted this Chase Vaughn, who played for the Broncos, kind of a
Yes, that was a
guy.
great story, yeah.
And he like posted it, and I was like, oh my gosh, he thought his career's over. He's sitting on the training room table, and DT just comes and sits. Like, DT just always knew when somebody needed him.
Yeah.
Special guy.
Absolute legend. Long live DT. Favorite memory on the field? Favorite play for him, maybe?
Oh God, there's so many. I mean, I feel like the obvious one is the Pittsburgh one.
Of course.
And it's like, I feel like it's cliche to say it because everybody says it, but it was just so epic. I also like catching the 509 and then the monkey in the middle.
Yep.
With Peyton.
With Peyton.
And just some of those one-handed grabs. The one-hander against the Chiefs. God, there's so
Yes.
many. So maybe
Dog.
those are my top three. What about you?
I loved the Cardinals game in 2014 when he went he should have had 300 yards in that
Yes.
game. He had an 85-yarder called back, but he was just abusing that secondary that day. That game always sticks out in my mind. And then in 2015 when they played the Lions, I believe on Sunday Night Football, or maybe it was the season before. Either way, they played the Lions on Sunday Night Football. The offense was kind of struggling. Then right before half, Peyton just threw one up for DT, and he mossed Darius Slay, did the classic head tap, picked it up over, and walked into the end zone. Those are my favorites. So
And just every stiff arm. He was
Yes.
a stiff arm king.
he would take screens to the house. Oh man, he was so electric. All right, let's get to the chat, and then we'll get out of here. Okay, let's go with Ivan's. What has been Romi's favorite memory so far during the Coach Prime era, since she's also been along since day one?
Oh man, the TCU game, the opener,
Hell yeah.
was magical. I also remember that started like a firestorm of like this like crotchety old dude.
Yeah,
Remember that?
I do remember
that
that.
dude that like came after me and just got all of his cronies to just like, oh my gosh.
What happened?
Some guy went after Romi's journalistic integrity,
Yes.
basically.
And he had quite the gang of followers.
Really?
These guys were like, have fun working at Hooters. And like just dragging me down, which by the way, he sent me an email recently and apologized.
About time.
And then asked me to be on his podcast.
Oh, of course.
But that game was magical.
Yeah.
That game was magical. It was like the Buffs had just been the basement dwellers for so long. Oh my God. And so I'll never forget. I think that was just such an insane, incredible moment. And I think my other one was honestly having Jimmy on the show.
Yeah.
Just like there is no one I root harder for
real.
than Jimmy Horn. But that
right
the
there.
first year he was on the show both years, but the first year when Prime was talking about how they called his dad
Right.
on the plane and just seeing the way Jimmy was just sitting next to Prime and talking about him being a father and you could just feel the relationship and anything with Jimmy. I just root so hard for
He's
Jimmy.
the
and
best.
So do I.
He's just wonderful and he just deserves all the success. But
Yes, he does.
That was probably one of my favorite show moments.
Love those. Let's go with Lloyd's. What player or players does the panel think is going to step up for the rest of the season? Do you have a pick?
Yeah. I mentioned him yesterday. I don't remember what I was asked about, but defensively for me, it's London Merritt. This is a future NFL player. This is a star in the making, and we're watching his ascension right now. So London Merritt defensively and offensively, I think Saturday was just the beginning of JoJo Williams' breakout is one of the most explosive receivers in college football. So those would be my 2 picks.
You told me I couldn't pick him as a second half breakout earlier in the week.
Yeah, you're right. This is different. This is obviously different.
All right.
that was a whole fill in the blank. That's a whole different. You feel me?
I don't know, man. I'm intrigued by Cam Michael. Wherever he finds himself.
It's a great one.
And we finally got to see him with the ball in his hands last week. I just hope that wherever it is, offense, defense, I don't care. Wide receiver, running back, I want to see that guy with more opportunities to make plays. Because again, you saw the speed last week. Romi?
I want to see more Dallin Hayden. Obviously, he was hurt beginning of the year, but I think this is a guy who's got NFL potential. And so just want to see him featured more there. And I don't know if this is cliche, but I'm going to say Caden. You know, I'm gonna put that expectation on him to continue to step up and elevate his game and elevate the team.
My pop says, who do you think should be the featured back? Dallin's your answer there, Romi?
Micah, Simeon might come back. Draylon might come back.
There's a lot.
I know, right? And go ahead. Sorry. That's tough. I was gonna say I don't even know if the answer might be that. Yeah, the answer might be that there is no featured back.
Yeah.
It's that you get each 3 or 4 of those guys involved. You know, and whatever kind of happens throughout the course of a game, who emerges as the hot hand, that's who you roll with for that game. But each of these guys have proven that they deserve opportunity. So, and that might be a blessing, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this earlier in the week, and I said, really, I just want them to be more decisive with the hot hand. Like, you know, early on, like the last few weeks, it's been Micah, and they kept on. And again, I love Micah. Like, feed that man again at some point. But when it's not working, like, I don't care who it is at the back. Do we really need to go from 9 carries to 13, 14? You know what I mean? Like, just get another guy in there, especially when Dallin's ripping off runs as he is right now. Like, just make the call sooner. So that's really what I think. Let's go with Gerardo's. Over under on the number of crash outs Jake has left this year. Under number 1, actually. No more crash outs.
You're not going to crash out again?
You're
going to crash out.
I mean, look, I'm looking forward to this bye week. I get 3 days to myself now. I think I'm going to have enough time to kind of decompress a bit.
I think 1.5, 2.5 is a good line.
Sure.
I really want to, you know, either you get 1 or you don't, you know?
Gerardo also asked, will Scott rep Buffs gear this season? Y'all keep bringing this question up.
Crazy, bro.
But the man does wear Buffs gear.
Thank you, bro. Literally every week I wear Buffs gear, bro. So I don't know. I don't know what y'all want from me. I don't know. I don't wear it every day, and I never will. No offense. You know, y'all know how I love the Buffs, but yeah, I just be up here trying to be myself and put on clothes that I like to wear.
Feel good.
And occasionally I put on a Buffs. Yeah, exactly. Occasionally I put on a Buffs shirt or a Buffs hat or something. So
you could do Andres. We talked about this a bit yesterday, and I mean, again, I'm not gonna go crazy on the well-off analysis here, but
no wizardry.
No wizardry today. He's a young player. He's learning. He's very talented, though. I'm not gonna analyze the bye week scrimmage, though. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Here we go. Final question for you, Romi. Ivan asked final season record prediction from you.
And feel free to not answer that.
Yeah.
What are they, 3 and 4?
Yeah.
Yep.
Utah, Arizona, West Virginia, Arizona State, Kansas State.
5 left.
5 left.
I mean, look, West Virginia's bad. I think
West Virginia's bad. I think West Virginia. I think they can beat Arizona. Arizona State's gonna be tough. Kansas State's been weird, up and down.
Do they make a bowl then? Does that make the question easier?
I think they could finish 6 and 6.
Okay.
Does that feel fair?
Sure.
Which is a bowl. Wait,
Yeah.
This is. I'm gonna go on a tangent here. This whole only getting to 500 and means you make a bowl is such garbage to me. Such hot garbage. You should not be rewarded for being average. Like,
Yes.
and I realize it's never gonna change because it's money and there's 1,000 bowl games and sometimes they have teams that have only won 5 games because they can't get enough.
It's crazy.
You gotta be at least over 500 in my opinion to get any sort of a postseason game. It's just anyway.
Hell yeah.
That's another thing.
Let's go.
That's honestly not a bad take.
No, I love
get
that.
to above 500. Get to 7
get to
7 and
7 and
5.
5.
That should. I agree. Honestly.
Who's rewarded for getting to 500?
Yes.
Come on.
I mean, we jumped the ship 10 years ago when we just started adding bowl games in any city we could. Like, now the playoff is what it is. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Romi. This was amazing.
You killed
Thank
this,
you guys
Romi.
for having
Per
me.
usual.
Yeah.
Hell
You're the
yeah.
best.
We'll do it again.
I hope so. I love this. This was awesome. I
Yeah,
appreciate you having me. You
definitely.
guys are the best.
People know who you are. Go ahead and tell the people where to find you and all your stuff, though. If they don't, if they've been living under a rock.
Well, for the few people who watch local television,
Please.
find me on CBS Colorado, and I try and be active on all the socials, the Instagrams, the TikToks, the X,
Twitter.
Thank you. I know. I don't know if I'll ever call it X. All those places.
Yeah.
So.
Hell yeah. Thanks to Romi. Thanks for hanging us with this week, chat. We'll be back on Tuesday, actually. So RK will be back then as well, and we're just going to jump right into game week, basically. So enjoy the weekend, enjoy the bye week, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday. School Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.